Kendrick Lamar. Is he the one who goes, "They're not like us"?
Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck that song means.
It means that Drake and all his boys are pedophiles.
No shit.
Yeah, because, Drake has this one of the lyrics. Is certified lover boy, question mark, certified pedophile.
Oh, okay.
And everyone got mad at him for the halftime show because he said pedophile on live TV.
Oh.
Called Drake a pedophile.
So you either like him or you like Drake?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't care.
I don't care for I don't know enough.
I don't care for either of them.
I only know like old school rap.
I like Kanye West.
No.
Lil
like
Wayne had
NWA
Lil Wayne had a
Dr.
really
Dre,
good performance
Snoop,
at like the
Easy.
BET Awards. Lil Wayne had a really good performance recently.
I like Lil Wayne.
He was kind of a homo in jail.
Stop.
He was. Him and Birdman openly talked about it being like gay lovers.
Dude, if Lil Wayne was gay, I can't hang with Lil Wayne.
How have you never seen this?
Dude, I want to know. I don't want to know.
He's 100% gay. He's not gay. He's just like fuck dudes in
Prison gay.
Yeah.
That's not gay.
That's
gay.
I think about it. If you're in there for 20 years.
So is military gay okay?
Nah, those Navy boys are homosexuals.
Okay, well, it's the same thing.
Not necessarily. When you go to port, you can
Submarine
go fuck all the
gay
hookers.
and prison gay is the same thing.
They got women on those boats now, too. So they got whores on those boats
dangerous.
now.
that shouldn't be allowed.
How are not... Oh, by the way, my voice is fucked. But how are not more of those women getting raped on those boats? Or are they just not saying it?
Look, man, I don't know. I would be curious. Pure statistics, right?
It'd be funny to see.
I'd be curious to see how many instances of like subordinate, insubordinate sex, insubordinate sex, like sex, multiple sex, pregnancies, rape. I'd be curious.
Well, you know what Matt Lauer used to do?
Matt Lauer's a sick fuck.
He had a bed in his office, and he had a door that would lock from the outside.
Right. But here's my question for you.
So you want a promotion? You got to suck my dick.
As sick as that is, right?
Harvey Weinstein did it.
No,
I think we should bring him back.
Look at what about this.
Real quick, can I say one thing? Look at what happened in movies since Harvey Weinstein went to jail.
Stop.
Kind of fallen off.
That's not funny. Back to the Matt Lauer thing.
Yeah.
How many times has that fucker done that to be bold enough to set up that kind of contraption with the door and a bed?
Yeah, that doesn't happen the first handful of times.
No, but you had to have done it multiple times.
That's what I'm saying.
Been successful multiple times.
Yeah. And then thought
how can I make... Got to a complex that I'm never going to get caught, and let me just ensure that I don't even have to get my fat ass out of the desk to go up and close the door to do it.
He's like, these women are sucking my dick. Why don't I just get a fucking bed in here?
No, fucking people don't understand that. That motherfucker, Matt Lauer, is one depraved son of a bitch.
You don't fucking say.
It's terrible. It's like Bill Cosby terrible. Sick fuckers.
What's worse? Well, Bill Cosby's worse because at least you could say even though the women were coerced, they had their own agency to make their own decision.
No, they weren't. He roofied them.
Matt Lauer didn't roofie people. I'm saying Bill Cosby's worse because he roofied the chicks and they didn't have any say in the matter. The women that Matt Lauer fucked, they were coerced through power manipulation, but they still could have said no.
So I will tell you that because I'm not a woman, so I can't do this, but it's a power dynamic.
Of course it is.
And I'm not saying one is better than the other, but one you're out and you were totally violated. The other one in a power dynamic,
like the teachers and the students,
I think, or even that Harvey Weinstein where people are holding something on you or taking advantage of that.
Shit, dude.
That power dynamic is so unequal. I will bet you that a lot of those victims, how they felt and the lasting effect that powerless had on them stays with.
Sure.
They're both horrific.
I would say that.
One you got a memory and one you don't.
If I'm 25 and trying to make it in Hollywood and I'm a woman, and this guy's like, if you suck my dick, you could be Captain Marvel. I'm like, okay, let's do it. That's how Brie Larson got famous.
Yeah.
That's how Jennifer Lawrence got famous.
Okay.
Have you seen the pictures of Harvey Weinstein with Jennifer Lawrence?
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
She was sucking his dick to get in the Hunger Games.
What if you had to eat some old, like, 62-year-old woman up?
That's fine. I'll power
That's
through.
big and
We've had this
chunky
conversation before.
I think it's different for guys.
I'll eat that box.
I think it's different for guys.
Blow the cobwebs off. You're not getting penetrate. You're not putting anything inside you for guys.
A couple baby wipes, you'll be fine.
Now, if like Harvey Weinstein was like, listen, bro, my wife's.
If you had to
if you want to be in a movie, my wife's got to peg you.
No.
Like, would you let his wife peg you to be like Captain America?
Dude, I wouldn't even be in any of these situations. I could be living out of the back of a van for the rest of my life and be happy.
You'll be living in a van down by the river.
I don't need to be doing any gay shit. All right, recap. So, welcome to Big Kel and Kahuna, Kelly.
Alec.
Episode 28, 29, June. The only thing...
It's the 30th.
Today's 30th?
Yes.
Okay, today's the 30th.
No, it's the 29th. You're right.
29th. The only thing I'll recap is you were right. He was the prince. He is the Prince of Iran. That's what they called the Shah's son, the prince. So he's up there. All right.
I'm not all the way stupid.
Today is Sunday. Oh, so it could be the 30th if it's no. That was last week. We did Sunday too. So it is the 29th. We just had the F1 race in the Red Bull track.
Is that called the Hockenheim Ring or is it Xander Ford?
I think it's Xander Ford.
Xander Ford.
And again, the McLaren won too. My guy won it.
Who's your guy?
Norris. He's been my guy for like 4 years. Ferrari did okay, coming in 3-4.
Yeah.
Mercedes looked like dog shit, but they still came in 5. Antonelli took your boy out.
Verstappen.
Yeah.
Not a good race.
Was quite unfortunate.
Not a good home race for Red Bull.
Yeah, I think Verstappen's lucky in hindsight that the two McLarens took each other out last week, because had they not, and this happened to him, he would have been insurmountable.
Only one DNF'd. Only Norris DNF'd last week. They didn't take each other out.
Yeah, Norris DNF.
Piastri finished.
Yeah, so
and last week was Canada.
George won Canada.
Antonelli won. Did George win Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Antonelli was third.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I don't think Max can come back for the driver's championship.
He's over 100 points back now. It's like 115 points back.
You can't make it up.
115 point
That means
deficit.
those two guys ahead of him got DNF twice.
115 point deficit in like 12 races. That's unlikely.
That's 10 to race.
It's unlikely.
10 to race. And let's be honest, Norris and Piastri are up around the podium every race.
And I don't think they're really going to take each other out, but like one more time.
No, it'd be interesting to see those
one of
two.
them will take the other one out at least one more time. But that'll be it.
Piastri's got to be what, 12 points? 10 to 15 points up on him.
Now he's like,
No, he went out the last time. So he's got to be a good 25 points up. So we'll see. So F1's interesting. UFC 317 was last night. And I was telling you upstairs, I'm not a big fan because I don't know the guy well.
Ilia Topuria.
Ilia Topuria looks.
Isn't he from like Macedonia? One of those
he's
like
Georgian.
Yeah.
And
that's around Greece, right?
Where
the fuck is Georgia?
It's above Greece.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Before you get to the stands.
It's like to the left of Mongolia.
It's
to the left of Mongolia, right?
This is Europe. You got Georgia here. You got Yugoslavia, Croatia, and all that other stuff. You got Greece here. And then you got like Kazakhstan, Dagestan, and all that.
So is that, are they Balkan? They're not Balkan.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they're down there. So, but then he went to
those Balkan people.
He went to Spain when he was 13.
Those Balkan people are fucking tough, dude.
But
them and the white Russians.
Listen,
the white Muslim Russians.
18 months ago, Charles Oliveira was the guy.
Unstoppable.
He was unstoppable.
You know,
he was a machine. He was the next generation guy. He was everything.
You know, he did porn before he was in the UFC.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about last night. That boy got put down with an inside right. Got hit again with a left while he was out on his feet. Fell back, got hammer fisted twice. He looked terrible.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see who he fights next. I like to see him and Islam fight at 155, but I don't think Islam's coming down.
No.
And Topuria can't go up, which might mean he fights your guy.
Patty Pimmel's not my guy.
Patty the Batty.
I don't like that kid. He's a fraud.
But he still looks good, though. He might be a fraud, but he still looks good. All right, what else we got? They're going after the people who leaked that fake early intel report.
Yeah, who
Those
said
people
that?
are fucked.
Who did that?
Somebody in the DOD or DNI.
They leaked that we didn't like totally destroy it, right?
Which turns out not to be true. But they're gonna catch that person, so that's bad.
Was that treason?
Supreme Court ruled that lower district judges cannot put national stays on stuff. So Trump's going back with the 5, actions, like all immigration actions and stuff.
Well, he just got rid of birthright citizenship.
Well, that's one of the things that he.
Even some people born on military bases are being told now they're not American.
Well, no, that's different. So they're just being that grandstanding, and then they'll fall back. But those things will now advance because they can't have a national stay put on anymore by a lower court, which was good. It was a good ruling because the Supreme Court, you can't have a local district where there's 600 plus stop the executive of the country. That's not how the system works.
Talking about like all the circuit courts and shit.
Yeah.
And the appellate courts.
The
That's what they call appeal courts,
you,
right?
you just not even that. You got to go up to a higher district court. So a regional court or a national court or something. But that was good. The bill's still going through. Parliamentarian did some stuff. I haven't heard Elon say anything crazy in the last week.
He had a Neuralink update a couple days ago. I didn't catch.
Oh yeah.
They're doing shit with Neuralink.
They're doing some cool stuff.
First,
I would love to see him fix a spine with a Neuralink regenerated spine.
They've done that in pigs.
Yeah, but I'd love to see it on the humans so
If they could do it in
if
pigs.
they could help paralyze people.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
I would never put one of those things in my head, but if I was paralyzed and I could make me walk again, I'd do it.
Dude, yeah. I mean, yeah, if your back's broken and it can link and it could be electrical conduit link between it and everything works. Shit.
I mean,
Can you imagine that, though?
modern science now can already like restore sight and hearing.
See, so that's what I'm telling you when we talked last week about being 40 years old from when I graduated.
Versus lifespan.
No, but think about it. This couldn't even been thought of 40 years ago.
It was science fiction 40 years ago.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that's the Terminator, right? And now it could happen. So imagine what the next 10, 20, 30 years. So just keep yourself at a good baseline and you'll be okay.
Did you ever see that Cyberpunk 2077 game?
No.
It's one of my favorites. Made by the same people who made The Witcher.
I'm watching some with your mom.
Yeah, what do you like Murderbot?
Murderbot.
What the fuck is? I saw that.
That's pretty good.
It looks dumb as shit.
No. So it's an Apple TV thing.
I don't have Apple TV.
They have so it's in the future. People doing space exploration
like
and different stuff.
Bot?
What's that?
It's like a hitman robot.
Can I just tell you what the story is? So it's people going out doing different stuff in space, but you have the company who does everything,
It's just
right?
called the company.
Yeah, it's kind of like in Aliens, the old man who ran everything, Wayland Industries. So the company does everything. Well, this group are going in an area doing biological stuff and observations, and they got to work under the company, but they're a bunch of fucking hippie freaks. But they got to bring
hippies in space.
But they have to bring a
Space
security unit with them to be insured. But they don't have a lot of money, so they take this thing, which is an older version, and it's becoming sentient. And then it's the crazy shit that happens, and then there's another rogue group on the planet killing the other base, and what this guy is doing. It's worth watching.
Have you ever seen that? It reminds me of a movie called Chappie.
Never saw Chappie.
Have you seen like the poster of it?
No. The cartoon?
Hugh Jackman's in it.
Oh, the boxing?
No, that's Real Steel.
Oh, okay.
But in Chappie, in I think Australia or wherever, the Netherlands, they have South Africa. They have a police force of fully robotic, autonomous like drones.
In real life?
Like it's a movie.
Oh.
And then one of them gets decommissioned, and then the guy who wrote the program like writes a program for it to gain sentience. And these gangbangers get a hold of him and teach him how to become a criminal. Just rob people.
You know, I might have seen a couple.
It's a good movie. You can see it on Amazon.
All right. What else we got going on in the world that's of interest?
Did you see the?
Oh, you know, there's 850,000 visa overstays in the U.S.?
Great. Well, there's two things. So, the U.S. water polo team like absolutely fucking destroyed Iran earlier this week.
We should.
And the second thing,
We're not the best in the world, but we're definitely a top 5.
apparently the world population estimate was underestimated
By how much?
by like a couple billion. So apparently there's like 10 to 12 billion people on the
Who
planet.
told you that?
A couple of reputable sources. Apparently the census.
Where was the difference from?
The census like underestimated the rural areas.
Where?
Like the rural areas of like the eastern countries.
Okay, so where did
Like
2
Asia
billion
and
extra people
India.
come from? India,
Asia,
China?
Yeah, that area.
Okay. Oh, great.
That's
Even
where
more.
like 50% of the population already is anyways. There's like one small circle in that area where like half
Yeah.
the world's population lives in.
India, Bangladesh,
China.
and China
And
take...
Japan.
No, you don't even need Japan. Take 50%. All right, let me see. I got a couple things I wanted to touch on with you this week.
Okay.
All right, the Crown Prince was right.
You got that
You got
guy
that.
in New York.
Oh, hey, I got this thing. I got to try some snow cluster crab legs from you from...
Where you get them from our website.
I'm gonna get them from Aldi. I just saw something. Oh, so have you
The
been
grocery
following the
store,
stuff
Aldi?
about Alberta?
Canada?
Yeah.
Not really.
So
I know they thought the guy they elected was supposed to be different than Trudeau, but he's like exactly like him, maybe kind of worse.
they were gonna put a digital services tax on the U.S. starting July 1st. So anything to do coming over the wire that had anything to do with digital services, right?
Sure.
And it would have been huge. And the conservatives in their own country were asking them not to do it, and they go, "No, we're doing it." And Trump said, "Fine, fuck it, do it." So we stopped negotiations with Canada, and all those big, huge 40, 50% tariffs are back in play. Now, here's the interesting part about Alberta. Alberta's the direct opposite of the national average as it relates to the age of your workers, the education of your workers, and how much your workers make, and the value. Now, Alberta pulls a lot of oil, but it's like a dirty crude, so it's got to get refined differently. But it can't get it out of Alberta because Canada won't give it pipelines out of Canada.
Well, we didn't get the North.
So we were going to do Keystone, and that got shut down by Biden.
Yeah.
Now, here's the deal. Because
Did they build Keystone yet, or was
No.
the project shut
No,
down?
I said it was shut down. Because they have to move it internally, they're taking like a 30 to 40% discount on the value of the oil. Now, if they could get a pipeline directly to the U.S., because they sit above Montana, I think, or is it Wyoming? Montana. They come into the U.S.,
They just send it over
they
the
have an
border.
opportunity to generate $34 billion extra a year, of
Wow.
which Alberta could keep $17 billion, and then they'll give the other $17 billion back to the government, which is how it's supposed to be.
The U.S. government
No,
or the
no,
rest of Canada?
The rest of Canada. I like they're in Canada. Let me just tell the story. So the rest of Canada. That's how the split is right now. But the government won't let them approve a pipeline in the U.S. So you know what they did?
Fuck you. We'll
They're
do
getting
it.
ready to take a vote because it's in the Canadian Constitution, thanks to those fucks in Quebec, the Quebecois when we lived there, those
Frenchies.
fucking crazy French Canadians, that you could take a vote to see if you want to secede from their union.
That's funny.
So Alberta's going to take a vote.
So they're going to be a
secede.
Canadian civil
Now,
war fought with
Even if
pom-poms?
they secede, they still got to get approval from Canada to get the pipeline. Now, if they become the 51st state, think about it.
That'd be a weird looking map.
So on average, Alec, we're taxed at what, 25%? Remember we lived in Canada. You had the provincial
To
tax.
the 60%.
Yeah, you had a provincial tax. You had the the GST, the PST, all the fuel tax, all this other shit, and it was almost 50%. Every Albertan can get a 25% increase, and then that's just in
They got
taxes.
25% deduction.
And then they don't have to pay all the sales tax. Because remember, sales tax, PST, and GST was 15% on every good we bought. Remember how crazy that was? So I think there's going to be a separatist movement in Alberta. And who knows? They could be the 51st state.
Yeah. You know what? I saw this guy make this comment about Trump yesterday.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be, like, geopolitically, on a global scale, I think we're going to be fine for the next 3.5 years.
Oh, I think.
Because I think everyone thinks Trump is so fucking crazy and unpredictable that they don't want to test him.
No, I think you're right. I think you're right. Okay, hey,
Didn't he shut down? He stopped a second war last week too, right?
he
The Palestinian bullshit or
no.
Gaza?
No, can I tell you? So there was something getting ready to go down between the Democratic Republic of the Congo on their eastern border with Rwanda. They're about to go at it, and that has been absolved. So he's going to focus. This Iran staff will be on the side. They're going to focus on the Ukraine.
I saw there were like 3. So you know the maps with all the planes, the flight trajectories and paths. There's 3 circles where there's no fly zones, right? Ukraine, Iran, and there's a third one like by Sudan or somewhere down in there.
That's northern Sudan.
Shit's still
Or
going
it could
down.
be over Somalia.
Shit's still going down in Sudan because then they separate. They're 2 countries.
Yeah,
for a
no,
while
there's coups and stuff going on there, and plus there's supporters of terrorists. All right, a couple other
Is
things.
the whole real quick? Is that shit in Azerbaijan still happening?
I don't even know what's going on in Azerbaijan.
There was like an ethnic cleansing in Azerbaijan a
I've
couple
never
years
heard
ago.
of that. Well, a couple years ago, how would a fucking...
That's why they stopped the F1 race. All right, whatever.
I have no idea. All right, couple things real quick. We are going to take a break. We're going to take an 8-week hiatus until after Labor Day. In the interim, we're probably going to make some adjustments in here, but we'll do some weekly posts with some shorts. One of them, of course, is for my birthday. Alec and I are going to go to midget wrestling, the All-Star Mini Midget Wrestling. I guess they call it mini wrestling.
Second time we're going to midget wrestling.
This will be the second time we're going.
And I promise I won't jump from the top turnbuckle and get kicked out this time.
We can't get kicked out.
I need to get in that photo. We need the VIP package again.
Yeah.
So, you want to tell them the other thing you're going to be doing in the interim?
Oh, no, not yet. One thing, I'll give credit where credit's due, and pains me to say this, but Alec, like I said, fair is fair. We will give Angel Reese a thumbs up this week because she is trademarking the phrase "me bound."
Really?
Yeah.
Or at least she's leaning into it.
She's leaning into it. I'll give her credit for that. She
Didn't
put
she
a
get an
trademark
award?
application in for me bounds.
Did she get an award a couple weeks ago for like the most influential black female sports figure or something?
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
And then that like female boxer came out and was like, "Yo, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like, I have 8 championships.
I have 4 championships. Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
And someone else is fighting.
She's not even the top in the WNBA.
Someone else is fighting with Caitlin Clark, and like her blonde teammates stepped up, and her jersey sold out.
Oh, here's it. The other thing that bothers me is every time I'm up in the morning between 5 and 6.
And you see the minorities.
And I check. Alec, don't be a dick. You're not even funny, son. And I checked ESPN, and every time, no matter it was after Game 7 of the WNBA, the championship for the NBA, or the NHL, or the Masters, or whatever it is,
It's always like
the next morning,
news.
it's a fucking WNBA highlight running on the top of the screen from ESPN. Every time.
Who won the NBA? Was it the Thunder?
The Thunder won. So I'm disappointed on the ESPN for continuing to do that because that's bullshit.
Stanley Cup. Oh, the Stanley Cup's over, right?
Yeah,
did
it's well
Edmonton
over.
win or did
It's well over.
Florida
won.
Oh, cool.
4-2.
That's rough
All right.
for those Canadians.
Oh, one of the top 5 I wanted to do, but we'll do it later. But I was gonna do with you top 5 Bond women.
I only
but you
know
don't,
one.
I
only know Pussy LaVille or whatever.
No, Pussy Galore.
Pussy Galore.
Pussy Galore
Octopussy.
was my number one. No. Octopussy is Octopussy.
And Pussy Galore is separate.
Pussy Galore is from Goldfinger.
So why is Octopussy called Octopussy?
Because that's her name.
What does she have 8 of?
She has an Octopussy tattoo, and she collects the Octopussy.
So an octopus?
Yeah, Octopussy.
What's the tattoo of an octopus?
Yeah, but her name is Octopussy.
She like Dr. Evil type of figure?
No, she's a good lady. She's in charge of a circus of acrobats.
Octopussy is a good character, and I thought that was the villain.
And then you had Ursula Anders, who was the very first one in Doctor No.
What the fuck?
And then Pussy Galore, and then we had Solitaire, which was Jane Seymour in. You like that one?
You remember when
That's
Sean?
the one. Hold on, that's the one with Yaphet Kodo or whatever, who was the drug dealer, Mr. Big. And then I liked what's her name, man? Grace Jones in A View to a Kill was pretty good. Grace Jones was a unique looking woman.
So apparently,
she would have been fun.
The new James Bond movie is gonna be a black dude, but it's not gonna be like Idris Elba.
No, I saw the guy, the kid with blue eyes. He's been in stuff before.
I don't remember him.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
I don't know.
We'll see.
You think?
I not to be racist or anything.
It's called black fatigue.
No. James Bond is supposed to be
straight white man. Damn it.
35 to 45-year-old British white male, athletic, very smart, good with the women, but just a chauvinist.
Yeah.
That's who he is.
Well, Sean Connery was a chauvinist in real life.
Yeah, but they changed as society.
You remember when he went on like the late night and talked about like beating his wife?
It was an interview with Barbara Walters.
Sometimes you gotta hit him.
Well, but Alec, that was 60 years ago. It was.
Did your dad hit your mom?
Alec, it's not as shocking as you think or as funny. It was 60 years ago, and if you're gonna
no, I'm genuinely asking. Was that like commonplace?
Alec, I have no idea. I'm just telling you it was 60 years ago.
Right.
Don't be a hump.
Don't raise your voice.
All right. So we'll go through the book chapter real quick. Fasting. I told Alec I'm gonna start a fast tomorrow or tonight. We'll cover that off. We'll see how that goes in 8 weeks. Health hacks. Just stay hydrated. Top 5. We were going to do favorite sports teams of all time.
Just do like top 5 rock bands. We could do those 2 lists.
Well, then do top 5 rock bands.
All right. Number 5 for me, AC/DC.
Well,
no, Guns N' Roses.
In no particular order. I'll start with the top.
Fine,
I'll do Led Zeppelin.
I'll also do Led Zeppelin.
I'll do the Eagles.
I will do Lynyrd Skynyrd.
I'll do AC/DC.
Guns N' Roses.
Original Van Halen.
Van Halen's good. Lynyrd Skynyrd before the plane crash is what I meant.
Oh.
And because they're the original Lynyrd Skynyrd. Who's the guy? Oh, you already said the Eagles.
No, I would say Jimi Hendrix or the Hendrix Experience for number 5, but now that I got this shirt on today, these guys have such a
CCR.
CCR has such a huge
Are they
catalog.
even classic rock?
Oh yeah,
because they're more like folksy.
No, they're more southern rock,
like bluegrass a little bit. Not necessarily bluegrass,
but they are classic rock. But they got a huge.
That's fine. They're good.
They got a huge. List.
So how many great songs does a band have to be considered a great band?
5.
I was thinking 10. Like, you need a top 10.
Yeah, but what is your definition of great song? By sales or by people knowing it? There's a difference.
Just like good song. Like Blink-182 has a lot of good songs that you don't know. I consider them a good band, but...
No. But they don't have, like, the firepower of AC/DC or Led Zeppelin or the Eagles.
Sure, those are spectacular bands, right?
Or a Michael
Jackson.
They have
a lot of records.
Or the Beatles.
I think you need 10 good to great songs to be considered a great band.
But you got to have 10 then in at least the top
10
40.
hits.
10 top 10s.
Like 10 golds or platinums or whatever. Do
Yeah,
songs go platinum or do albums go platinum?
I don't know. Don't know.
And then what'd you say? Sports teams? What, like from
a
year?
So here was a conversation. So this not even. Well, yeah, we could do top 5 sports teams. Then I got a question. So for me, Redskins are number 1. Gotta have the Redskins in there.
Just 2 off 5.
I like the Orioles. They're in there. I like the Capitals. They're in there. I like Man U or Newcastle. I'll split that. And then, shit, man. I don't know.
Do esports teams count?
Any sports team.
Because there's this, remember when I used to fucking stay up all night and play League of Legends?
Yeah.
There's this one Korean team, SKT Telecom. You know that there's a company. They got a guy called Faker who's like the best player of all time. So I'll go with that for esports. All Blacks.
Yeah.
Probably best rugby team.
Yeah, you're right. I should have put them in there.
Caps. Redskins. And I'm going to go with an outlier here. This is not ranked. University of Southern California.
For football?
USC Trojans.
Okay,
for
that's
football.
pretty good. So let me ask you a question.
They were my favorite college team before
Yeah.
I went to college.
So let me ask you a question.
All right.
Keep your mouth shut till I'm done or you'll ruin the trail. So imagine, if you will, and then I'll tell you when we can dialogue, that you could be the greatest of all time. So, for example, you take Ayrton Senna, and you're twice as good as he ever was.
But you get like a 20-year career?
No, this is for 10 years only.
Okay.
But just pick your greatest F1 driver, and you're double as good as him. Take Tiger Woods in his prime.
So that would be 14
Okay,
championships.
see, I asked you not to interrupt me. Just listen. 10 years, F1, greatest championship, double that. Not
right.
in championships, but in ability of the person. This is not a championship thing.
Got it.
Tiger Woods in his prime, you're twice as good as that.
Okay.
Patrick Waugh is a goalie, you're twice as good. In a 10-year span when Gretzky was hot, you're twice as good as the greatest of all time. When Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson, you were twice as good. Twice as good as Babe Ruth or whoever, Barry Bonds, and you weren't
Just
illegal.
picture any sport to go to that sport.
So
you're
who
better,
would you
twice
be?
as good as him for 10 years.
Your career is 10 years, and you're the
Twice
best,
as good as the
you're
best ever.
best ever. Twice. What would you be?
See, you're not going to like this. But
Don't say video games.
if you're twice as good as the best hockey goalie over 10 years, you probably let in like less than 10 goals in 10 years. So I do that.
Oh yeah, well it'd be same.
That's
as,
a crazy legacy.
It would be same as for me though. If I was a goalie, I would rather be a soccer goalie and give up like
1 goal in 10 years?
0.1 a game or something.
Yeah. Would you rather be
You mentioned be like the best shutdown defender, nobody beats you, or the best like Lawrence Taylor, twice as good. You're going to guarantee you get 3 sacks a game. Can you imagine being a beast like that?
Yeah, but if you're twice as good as Tiger Woods, you're getting hole-in-ones on par 4s.
No, it's not about hole-in-ones. It's about you're going to shoot on a par 72. You're going to shoot on average 67. That's it. For the season, you average 67, which means...
Tiger didn't average a 67 on 72s.
No.
He averaged like a 60, 65.
Come on, Alec.
What
Not
do you
for the
mean?
whole fucking season.
But you're saying for his prime.
Yeah, and he did not.
Yeah, you're right. Golfers only get like 8 good tournaments
Come
a
on,
year.
man. Know your stuff.
Whatever. What would you pick? Soccer goalie?
No, I don't know, man. But I would if it was on football for me, it'd be like middle linebacker or defensive end because you can wreck the game from those positions.
Twice as good as Ray Lewis? That'd be pretty cool.
He's not the best, but
Who's the best middle linebacker?
it ain't him. He's one of them. What sport? Because you would dominate in F1. You'd win 75% of the races.
You'd be like 30 seconds up on everybody.
The only time you didn't is when they wrecked you. Golf. You know what? It would have to be more of an individual sport, would it not?
Bowling?
No. You'd have to. You know what? I'd have to take golf.
How cool would it be if you were like the best
or
pool
UFC.
player? If you were the best pool player ever? Or like the best swimmer ever? Or the best runner?
More than that.
Like if you could do
Who's
it.
the best UFC guy?
If
John Jones is probably for 10 years, but you're twice as good.
I would rather. I mean, how cool? Because the record for like a 100-yard dash now is like 9.5 seconds. How cool would it be if you could run like a 100-yard dash in 8 seconds?
You can't do that. Now you're dreaming. All right, so those were thoughts. So I would do golf. What would you do?
Hockey goalie.
Okay. All right, let's go off to the book of the week. Mine's something simple called Message to Garcia. It's just about learning about leadership. Don't worry about the other stuff. It's a story about a guy who had to get a message in the Cuban-American War and get it across. And everybody was saying this, saying that, and he just stayed true to his course. So when you're given something, don't hem-haw. Don't worry about the man or what other people are doing. Just do your fucking job, and you'll be fine. What's your book?
I would do the Iliad by Homer,
Okay.
which I liked more than the Odyssey.
Can't go wrong with that. My TV series is Johnny Quest
Johnny Quest.
with Haji, Race
That was
Bannon,
pretty good.
Dr.
That was a pretty good
Quest,
show.
and Bandit. Yeah.
I like that show.
You don't understand. That was in mid-60s.
I know, but you showed me it when I was a kid,
Yeah.
and I liked it.
That's 60 years ago. It's still relevant today.
That
I love it.
What was it, like Hanna-Barbera or whatever?
I don't know if they did that. Or
The
somebody
Wacky
else.
Racers was Hanna-Barbera, right?
No, this might be Color something or other. I'm not sure. What's yours?
TV show. Do I have to do a TV show?
No, you don't have to. We just skip right
All right,
back.
you
Or
know,
you
let
do a
me-
movie.
Let me just do the Terminal List because I mentioned that last week.
Yeah, the second one's coming out. It doesn't have what's his name. It's a prequel.
It doesn't have Chris Pratt.
No, it's a prequel. It has the
Fuck
other guy.
off. His brother,
The one that got he killed him. The CIA guy.
John Bernthal. No. Who the fuck was his brother in that?
The John Carter or the Carter guy. That movie. The guy from Friday Night Lights. Taylor Klitschko or Kilso, whatever.
The guy
his name
with
is.
the long hair.
Yeah. All right, so we got that. All right,
Well,
so we're closing out. Bitch of the week, you get to go first. Who is yours?
Anthony Cuomo for losing the Democratic primary to a literal Jew-hating communist
Yeah.
in New York.
So by the time we come on in 8 weeks, my prediction is, although Cuomo said he wants to run as independent, he'll fold under Eric Adams. Curtis Sliwa will fold the Republicans under Eric Adams, and it'll be Adams against this guy, and we'll see if more than 25% of the population comes out to
Shit, you think the
elect
Jews would come out in force?
elect a confirmed Jew-hating, Israel-hating, pay everything for free.
Free grocery stores.
No cash bill. We don't need all the cops. We need interdiction. This is going to be a
There's
disaster.
a lot of Jews in New York. You think they come out
They have
against
a very
him?
big Jewish problem. I can't believe it's happened that way. I think this is the biggest disaster for the
You
Democrats.
know he met his wife on Hinge.
Yeah, well, good for him. So this will be a Democratic issue. Now, I forgot who mine was. I told you who it was at the start.
We were gonna say it was Dad, the guy who called Trump Daddy, but not
Oh,
him.
yeah, but no. But then I changed it to somebody. I forgot who I changed it to.
It wasn't a politician. It wasn't anyone in Formula One.
I don't remember.
That's fitting.
Yeah, maybe Sean O'Malley for almost making me put my money on Oliveira.
Why?
Because they asked him last night who he thought he'd win. He goes, my heart's telling me to bet on Oliveira, but my mind's saying take the Poirier. And I was looking at the same thing. I was like, 5-1, you never know. But he got rocked,
You know,
man.
when he was a 5-1 underdog.
Yeah.
Fuck me, dude.
They were right. Just like Kayla Harrison, you missed that fight.
I
She
didn't.
just beat
You
the
know what I've
fuck out of
realized? When it
Pena.
comes to betting on UFC, I have beginner's luck for like the first 2 times. Now, if I'm ever gonna bet on the UFC again, whatever decision I come up with, I'm just gonna pick the opposite because I'm over 50. I'm like 20% right on my UFC
Yeah, but
bets.
you place homers, though.
I don't
Like,
place
you put money
homers.
on Sean O'Malley every time.
I do take moonshots.
Yeah.
Sean O'Malley has lost me like $200.
Yeah, that's the problem. He can't, because he's not, you can't count on him.
He was good for like 18 months and then
Till
fell
he got
off.
quality competition. He can't keep himself off of his back.
Well, now, he was good
He can't
until he
stay
came
off the
up
ground.
against a wrestler.
He can't get, wrestlers put him down. He can't defend a wrestler. And as much as he thinks he might be a stylish jiu-jitsu artist,
He's not.
he can't do fuck all of these small, thick wrestlers.
I know.
He's not strong enough.
Fuck.
He might be lanky as fuck and get good angles, but he's not strong enough.
Was it Marab who beat him? Whatever.
Yeah,
not
Marab,
good
somebody
anymore.
beat. Yeah, Marab beat him twice,
Hmm.
handily. But that's the problem. Marab's stronger than O'Malley.
You should watch some of the YouTube videos I like watching are like Bass Rutten talking about back in his days.
Yeah,
he-
they couldn't punch. The
no,
palm
well, yeah,
striking.
but no, back in his days living in Japan when like people would fuck with him
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like
No, I listened to him.
SEALs would come over and like
Yeah.
Randy Couture would go up to these guys and
I
be
just-
like, "You don't know
I've-
who that
I've-
is."
I've seen the same things. Yeah, I've listened to him. It's pretty good.
I like that guy.
All right, so we're out for at least 8 weeks, maybe more. We'll give updates each week as we go along. We'll definitely have something once we can figure out how to clip together iPhone videos, and we'll give highlights to the wrestling event. All right, with that, we'll call it quits. All right, lock it down.
Disclaimer for Generations Unplugged with Big Kel and Kahuna. This is a podcast created for informational and entertainment purposes only. The views expressed in this podcast reflect the personal experiences and opinions of the hosts and guests. Topics like health, fitness, financial well-being, and personal development are discussed based on individual perspectives and are not intended as professional medical, financial, or psychological advice. Listeners are encouraged to consult with qualified professionals before making decisions related to health, lifestyle, or finances. Each person's journey is unique, and results may vary. The creators of Generations Unplugged disclaim any liability for actions taken based on the content of this podcast. Remember, informed decisions and expert guidance are key to building a fulfilling and balanced life.